Welcome into the DML Network. It's your boy XPERT, and I got another episode of the bye week. And we're going to start with my homie from the West Side, Mr. What up himself, the owner of those Raiders. What's up, Tone Dog?
X, what's good, bro? It's a somber Sunday in LA, but it's all good, bro. We gonna make it through.
Yeah, man, prayers up to Nipsey's family. That's just craziness, man. We got to start loving everybody. No matter where you come from, no matter what you got going on in your life, we got to love each other and lift each other up. There's too much hate in this dang world, and there's just too much stuff to keep us positive. But yeah, definitely prayers sent out to Nipsey and that whole community out there in LA. That's some craziness. But let's talk about those Raiders for a minute.
Yes, sir.
You've been kind of quiet here in the Dynasty. Where has Tone Dog gone? And is that a direct reflection of how the Raiders are playing, the little bit that we get to see, Tone?
I mean, you know, X, again, these money troubles that we've had kind of held us down, but that is not a reflection on the stick skills. I mean, I promise you not. I've had some great games. JB didn't caught me one good time, but we had a great game last night, and man, I mean, we just looking to kind of turn the ship, bro.
All right, let's talk about this roster for a minute. Aaron Manningham, you've had him for a couple seasons now. Is he the legit quarterback, or do we see some Todd Sweezy taking over?
Sweezy, man, I love a little bit of Sweezy, but you know, Manningham, bro, this guy. Yeah, like you said, he's been with me for a while. He's been kind of waiting in the wings. He hasn't really flourished like I wanted him to. He seems kind of erratic, but he does make some plays. So I think I'm just going to roll with him. I'm going to keep Sweezy on the back burner and see what it easy with the Sweezy baby next year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're not letting Sweezy get no play time. And I don't understand why, because you drafted the young man out of Georgia. But Manningham's been, I won't even say he's been bad. He's been, you know, maybe he's mediocre. You know, he's got 12 touchdowns. We got 21 interceptions. He's just having a tough time getting the ball to Raiders versus getting it to everybody else. But when he's on, he's on. And so we got to figure out how to get him on. Otherwise, maybe Todd Sweezy, and that's just an amazing name for a quarterback. Maybe Todd Sweezy needs to get a little run here with the Raiders.
Hey, X, you gotta love Sweezy, man. You know what? And since we're on the bye week, I might let him come out to play on my next week.
Okay.
Just for you.
All right, I appreciate that. All right, let's talk about the backfield, because it's been a backfield by committee here lately. You got Deontay Faison, the running back out of Texas, 202-pound big back at 6 foot, and he's kind of been your horse here with 400 yards rushing. But the young fella coming out of Missouri, Sean Dunlap, has done a good job coming in when he's needed, running at 4.4 a clip. Is this going to be continue? We're just going to go with the hot hand, or is this one guy's job over the other guy?
You know what? It's kind of like the one guy's job over the other guy. Faison is definitely the starter, but he got hurt like twice in the last game. So kind of had to go pick up Dunlap, and I mean, this guy is a power back running a 4.4, and he's got bad intentions. I mean, he's looking to punish the linebacker. So you know, and we're working with a new offense. Shout out to my boy KP. But I mean, we running the ball now. We're passing the ball. We got a couple wins. We came into the bye week with a win, and so I'm just looking to kind of continue the same episode, bro.
Yeah. All right, you got a wide receiver core that I don't think it's fully recovered from the Amari Cooper loss.
Correct.
You still haven't found that guy. And I thought maybe that Seth Roberts would come in here with that experience and kind of be that guy. But Woodyard's really been your go-to at 6'5". He's been kind of that guy. And then you got Kiki. Yeah. And Kiki's kind of your burner. But after Kiki and Marquise, the other guys on the team are just a bunch of Jags in Raider uniforms, you know, just kind of running around, running routes. Is that your number one focus going into this draft? We got to find a wide receiver.
I think so, but Kiki does love me, and
Kiki
you know
does love
what?
me. Yeah.
Yes. And you know what? We've been balling with these Jags, bro. I mean, they just another guy but they're doing what they're supposed to do. We are definitely looking for a number one threat, a deep threat. Matter of fact, somebody's fast that can take the top off of somebody, maybe with a double move or something like that. But right now it's been wide receiver by committee with a little bit of tight end, a little bit of Faison, and hopefully Manningham getting somebody the ball. But yes, we need a deep threat. We need a number one receiver, or matter of fact, two of them would actually be a blessing.
All right, safety position, probably your number one focus here on the defense because you're pretty young in most spots on defense. Your secondary is probably the oldest part of your defense. And you got Obi and you got Garyon Conley. Both guys entering their 6th year, still playing well. I mean, Conley's still hitting that 92 speed, 92 excel at free safety. And Melifonwu at strong safety, if he could play till he's 35, he could be the guy. But your cornerbacks are really going to be the issue going forward. You got Marcus Justin, and he's just not the fastest guy, but he's a physical corner.
For sure.
Rashawn Melvin is just is Rashawn Melvin just one of those where you're just waiting for you to pop in one day and him tell you, man, I'm fixing to retire after this year?
I think so, bro. Hey, look, I mean, we brought him into the office the other day just to talk about the future, and he was talking about some other shit. So we said, like, bro, just do your thing, do your thug thism. Whenever you're ready, just kind of let us know. But X, for this draft, we are looking to fill some roles on the back half, man. Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's getting long in the tooth. So we're going to have to get some guys to kind of help out with the safety position. Like you said, cornerback is definitely a pain point. So we'll be looking there and wide receiver. And please don't forget my O-line, because we definitely going to need some new guys on the O-line. We got to shore up that part of the ball as well.
Yeah, I think you got some new guys on the offensive line, but you got some guys that maybe aren't at the talent level you expect. But you're maybe one or two pieces away on the offensive line to be there. But let's look at this schedule.
Go ahead.
Because the year has not gone to plan for these Raiders. And
for sure.
You can't keep doing Oakland like this. Like, we got to get Oakland back in the playoffs where they belong.
For sure.
And you came out and you had a tough – listen, you've had a tough schedule. I mean, we can't look at the schedule and say it hasn't been rough. I mean, you started with Patriots, Chargers, Dolphins. I mean, those are 3 games you look at and you're like, man, we just got to fight to try and win one of those.
For sure.
But then you get darkness in the Titans, and it probably was your worst game of the year so far. You played the Dolphins tough. The Charger game was close, and then all of a sudden the Chargers just blew you out. The Patriots had your number from the first kickoff. Matter of fact, before y'all left the locker room, the Patriots had a touchdown.
I mean, we fumbled the opening kickoff.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. But then you get darkness, and it's like your offense was stuck in mud. Is that been play calling, or is that more of the personnel that you have on this team that just haven't played well?
I think it was a little bit of both at the beginning. And so now that we kind of got the play calling under wrap, we hired a new OC who's great. And so we're looking to kind of put the ball in the air. Like I said, this last game, I think I rushed for like 125 and threw for 160. So we're getting a lot more balanced. Defense came to play. And, we took what the defense gave us, and it seemed to work out. So even though we got a lot of Jags, the offensive coordinator came in and he said, you know what, we're going to get the ball to these guys, and we're just going to run our system. Yeah. And so far it's been working.
All right. Then you get the Broncos, and you take care of business with JB and the Broncos. And then you have a scheduling issue where – the Oakland team had some community service they had to take care of and couldn't play the Lions.
Yes,
so
sir.
you took a loss there. And then JB got you back.
Yes, sir.
He changed some things up and got you back. But it's a close game. You're in it. And then you played 2 playoff teams here these past 2 weeks. You get the Packers, who's balling. He's leading the NFC North. He's got that offense finally rolling. Colbert's doing his thing. And you go in there and you get him by a 10-piece, 24-14.
Yes.
And then you get the Jets. And just a crazy game with the Jets, and you find a way to win that game. What has changed in Oakland in week 8 and week 9 going into this bye week that you feel like, okay, now this offense is starting to click?
Unbelievable. Well, like I said, X, we had a couple of injuries, and I think along with our new offensive coordinator that we got, and new kind of pieces that we kind of brought to the team because of the injuries, things are really just gelling at the right moment.
Yeah.
Again, we're going into this bye week. We have a few injuries, so we're going to look to see if we can kind of get a few guys off of that hurt locker and get them onto the field.
Yeah.
So we can do some things. But I think hopefully the tide is turning in Oakland as we move to Vegas. And I mean, hopefully we can just kind of make some noise. We're still going to run our game and we're going to stick to the program and we're going to see what happens.
All right. You got 7 games left in the year.
Oh, gosh.
Do we see a positive Oakland Raiders team at the end of the year? Because you got both games versus KP and the Chiefs. And he's been instrumental in trying to help you out with that offense.
He has.
But he knows that offense.
He does. Well, he don't know this. He don't know this new offense, though.
Okay. Because you got the Chiefs 2 of the next 3 weeks with a little bit of skill trade sandwiched in there between. And you got the Vikings. So Hamiltop's a good user. You get the Chargers. You get the Chargers again. The little payback there maybe for you. And then you get the Bus. And then you get the last game, you get the big homie and the Bengals.
Oh, God.
Do you see the Raiders winning 4 of the next 7?
We have to, actually. I mean, we got to be over 5. We got to be 500 or better.
Yeah.
That's the goal. Again, because of the early losses, our playoff kind of hopes were put on hold for a minute. But these last 2 games, especially against 2 heavy hitters like the Packers and the Jets, and one time for my boy Packers, man. Even though that was a faulty timeout, I definitely chose to run the ball instead of throwing something. I know you tried to call me out in the chat, but
that's all right.
Big up to my boy Packers, and one time for my boy Jets, man. He played a hell of a game. That's my dude right there.
Yeah.
So we're definitely looking to be 500X, and hopefully the ball bounces our way, bro.
All right, one last question before we let Tone Dog get out of here. Do we see the Oakland Raiders back in the playoffs in Madden 19?
Oh, you damn straight.
I love the confidence.
Yes, sir.
I love it. All right, man, what you got for the Dynasty before you get out of here?
Hey, man, one love to the Dynasty. Big ups to everybody doing things the right way, the same way. And shout out to my boy Dion. Much love, bro.
No doubt. All right, guys, that is Tone Dog and the Raiders. Appreciate you jumping on the show. Always a pleasure when we get to do something. I'll see you at EA Play, sir.
For sure.
All right, next up, it's those Jets, the JETS's, and Mr. Solomon. What's up? What's going on, sir?
What's going on, big dog?
Hey, let's talk about these Jets for a minute, because you're new to the Dynasty. You got you couple seasons in now. Are you starting to get the hang of the culture here with the show, with the Dynasty, and all the guys that are here?
Yeah, man, definitely. I'm feeling it, man. I'm definitely feeling it. Just trying to get the team up to par. You know what I'm saying? The way I play, and I love the league, man. The league is 100.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, let's talk about this roster for a minute. You take over a pretty good team here in New York. You get Sam Darnold. Has Sam Darnold been everything you expected him to be for Madden 19?
Man, I don't know what it is, man. I think Sam Darnold, he's strong. He got a big arm, but I don't do too good with quarterbacks with a lot of throwing power. That's what I realized. But I've been going with Scott Kane, man. Scott Kane got me to the playoffs last year.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He's pretty solid. He make a couple rookie mistakes, but I like him better than Darnold.
All right. So is it Scott Kane's job the rest of the season, no matter what happens?
No matter what happened, man, we're gonna go ahead on and ride him, man. We're gonna put the team on his back. You know what I'm saying? And Darnold been asking for a trade, but right now we focusing on getting Scott Kane ready.
All right, so Sam Darnold is on the trade block. Is that what I'm hearing?
Man, it's probably next season, man. He might hit the trade block, man. Okay. Most def.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. I know there's a bunch of users that are glad to hear that. All right, let's talk about Chai T. Horton.
Oh man,
yeah.
He a beast, bro. He a beast. I like him. But right now he hurt for 6 weeks, 6 or 7 weeks. Yeah, man. But we just made the trade with the Texans, and we brought in my man Foreman, which is a power back. We needed more power. We didn't have any power. We got a lot of elusiveness, but we didn't have no power. So I had to go get Foreman, and as soon as I get Foreman had a good game last game. Not this game just passed, but the last game he did pretty good. But Horton, man, he gonna stick around. I think he gonna hang around for a while. Him and Marshall was doing pretty good together, but Marshall went down too. So
Yeah, so now Deontay Foreman comes in, and he's got to kind of pick up this load.
yes,
And is that important for the Jets to have a run game to set up the young quarterback in that backfield?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's definitely everything I do, man, is for a reason. We went draft 2 fast wide receivers, to kind of back everybody up, to give me a little space to run the ball, because I like to run the ball. But a lot of people like to put a lot of men in the box. So I'm just trying to keep everybody backed up, and you never know what we gonna do, So we try to keep it like that, keep people thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and let's talk about those 2 speedster wide receivers. You drafted one 2 drafts ago in Spencer Deese.
Yes,
That's
sir.
the kid out of Florida State. And then this past draft, you go and get LaMarcus Pickens from North Dakota. And those 2 guys are your speed wide receivers. But neither one of them is that big presence that can go get a football when you need it. Who is that guy on this roster? Is it still Robbie Anderson, or has Felix Porcher proven that even with his lack of speed, that he's the guy you got to throw the ball to?
Yeah, in those situations, man, when it's nobody open and I'm looking down the field and I see him with a one, he might have one receiver right on him, man. I just put it up to him. He can get it. He definitely can get it. But Pickens and D's, those my speedsters. I just try to catch him slipping off guard and, catch a one-on-one and just let him, go get it. Let him run under the ball and go get it. But for sure, Portia is definitely the possession receiver, that we have right now. And Anderson actually can do the same thing.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
He's got some speed on him as well.
Yeah, definitely.
All right,
definitely.
let's talk schedule. How you got 2 ties?
Man, you know what, bro? Hey, dog. Hey, bro. Those games, I lost a lot of sleep, man. For real, bro. I lost sleep because I felt like I could have won a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I played the defense I needed to play. The defense definitely came through for me. It's just my offense, man. I'm just struggling with the offense. I don't know if it's my offensive line or my play calling or what the deal is, man. But those 2 ties, bro, definitely I lost sleep, man. I lost a lot of sleep back to back, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you start the year 0-2-2.
Man.
I mean, that's just crazy, because you came out in the Chargers the first week. He came out, and the Chargers has been playing well. And you got the Chargers early, and he just put up, a crazy amount, 325 yards. And then you turn the ball over so much in that first game that kind of puts your defense in some bad spots. But the game was close. It's 17-17 going into the 4th quarter.
Exactly, man. I don't know what happened, man. It's just, we just went to making some bad reads, and I think Darnold played that game, actually.
He did.
And I try to stick with him because I like him. He's pretty good. He got a little speed, if I got to get out the pocket, I can run with him, which I don't do a lot, but at least I have the option to run out the pocket with him. And I try to go with him, but he just, man, Darnold, he sell me out at the worst times, bro. So, we just went on 3 picks that game.
Yeah.
And I stuck with him for the next 3 or 4 games, man. And I finally took him out, but I don't know, bro. I don't know what happened with that, but,
Yeah, you just folded in the 4th quarter. All right, then you come back after that 0-2-2 start, and you finally get on the winning side of some football, and you win 3 in a row. And you got to feel like after the Texan game, you beat a good SJ team. I mean, he was balling at that point. And you beat SJ 23-10. You get a big win versus the Co-Commish. And then you got the game versus Tone Dog. and it was
Man.
like the old Jets came back onto the field. You only put up 124 yards of total offense.
I don't know.
What happened between that Texan game where you're playing a top 10 user and you ball, and then you come back and it's like the Jets like took the week off, like y'all had a second bye week?
I think they underestimated them guys, man. They came out ready, man. He came out. I mean, he had a long drive. The first drive, it just took the whole quarter. It was almost like, I was kind of bored after it took him a whole quarter to score the first touchdown, which is not, it's not his fault. My defense couldn't make no stops, and they got tired. And then I come back out after he scored the first touchdown. I throw a pick. I think that's what happened. I throw a pick, put the defense back out there, and they just wasn't on the game, bro. He just was getting us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
We couldn't stop his offense, and that's I normally play some good defense, but we just couldn't get it going. I don't know, what happened, man. The defense just was tired. I kept trying to put some fresh guys in, but his offense was rolling, man. We just couldn't stop him when we needed to.
All right, so you got a tough schedule coming out these last 8 weeks here. You still got the Dolphins twice.
Yes, sir.
You got the Patriots another time. You do have 2 games with the Bills and skill trade, but those are games where if you don't come prepared, you can find a way to lose those games. You got you got the rest of the NFC East. You got the Cowboys, you got the Eagles, and you got the Giants.
Yes,
on
sir.
top of those division games. Do we see the Jets back in the playoffs this year? Or is this a year where you've kind of decided we need to get focused and find the right guys to fit into these spots?
Yeah, that's I don't see the playoffs, man. I mean, I hate to, you never know what can happen, but the way we've been playing, and it's been tough, man. Even the games we won, I didn't like the way we performed. We had to come from behind. You know what I'm saying? On 2 of those wins, we had to come from behind and find a way to win. But I think we got a few more spots we gotta fill out. Once we fill those spots out, I think we can be dominant, man. We can definitely run our division. I beat Tight Work a few times. He beat me once. The Patriots, I beat him like twice or 3 times, something like that. But he never beat me yet. Tight Work got me once. So I think we competing with the team we have now. We're doing pretty good. We're doing all right. We can do better.
Yeah.
But I think once I fill up these spots that I know I need to fill up, you know what I'm saying? I think that we'll be able to definitely take over this division, man, and get in the playoff.
Is this Cameron Jordan's last year for the Jets?
Yeah, it's over for him, man. He told me about to go ahead on and pack it up. He wanted a 1-year deal, but I got some young guys that I'm ready to get in there. I just re-signed, what's my homie name? Big boy, man. Williams. I just re-signed him to a 3-year deal.
Okay.
So we gonna roll with that. Next year, we got some young guys coming in ready to ball at the defensive end position. And I think we just got to get our offensive line right. Once we get that offensive line right, man, I think we ready, ready for whatever.
Okay, what about your linebacker, Avery Williamson? Is he going to continue with the Jets, or you got to find him a new home?
Well, I like Avery, man. He's aging a little bit, but I think he's going to hang around for a little longer, man. Let me see. I'm not 100% sure. He got 3 years remaining on his contract.
Right.
I know I can't trade him because, he's kind of old. So he might hang around for a little while, man. We need that leadership we need that veteran leadership on our defense. So, he's schooling a little young cat. We just brought in a young cat at middle linebacker, man. Woodson.
Yep.
Yeah. So he's pretty good, man. He's a sleeper. George Woodson, man. He's pretty good. And him and Avery have been working on some stuff together, and he play kind of like Avery, man. They both kind of the same, So I like them, bro. I like them.
All right, so being one of the new guys here in the Dynasty, you've heard us talk about the high stakes season and how important it is for your team to be ready to go that last season before Madden 20 comes out.
Yes, sir.
Are you looking at being a top 8 team for that high stakes season, and do you believe you have the capabilities to take down some of the top guys in the Dynasty to secure your spot in the final 8 to pick for their teams for Madden 20? Because in high stakes is when it truly becomes all about the user and what you've done for 9-10 seasons here in the Dynasty. Have you mentally started to prepare yourself, because this will be your first high stakes season?
Yeah, man, I've definitely been thinking about it. A lot of changes been going on with that, as far as playbooks and stuff like that. I've been trying to figure out, man, what I'm gonna do with that part, like as far as the playbook I'm gonna use, and but as far as competing with these guys, I don't feel like nobody. I feel like I can compete with whoever in the Dynasty. The top users, I came in and beat one of the top users. When I first got in the league, I think I played tight work my first game, I think, and I beat it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, as far as like competing with anybody, there's nobody I'll never say I can't beat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I know I can be beat, and I know I can win. I've been playing this for a long time, and and everybody pretty good. They got some good competition. Ain't nothing I never seen before. Everybody pretty much run the basic offense. Some guys do some different things, but yeah, man, definitely I can compete with anybody, and I feel like I'm definitely gonna be top 8 for sure. Once I get this team straight, get the offensive line together, we good, man. We, I like the team, man. We straight at wide receivers, running backs, everything, so.
I like that confidence. I like that confidence, and that's important going into high stakes.
Yes, sir.
Is you got to be prepared for the mental game of high stakes, because there's a lot of eyeballs on every game. All right.
Yes, sir.
What do you have for the Dynasty before we get out of here? Because not a lot of guys have seen you on the show. And so this is your opportunity to kind of, you've already kind of let people know throughout the show that, you feel you're a top user, that you once you get this team right, you're going to dominate this division. But for the guys that have not heard from you, what do you got to say to the Dynasty before we let you get out of here?
Man, I'm here to say, man, I'm about balling. I'm about, saying, anybody coming from me, I'm trying to smash it. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody cool. I like everybody. But, I put the game first, man. Relationships, I don't really talk to too many people, but they got some cool cats, man. And I like the league. I'm looking to stay around, hang around, be around, do what I got to do to be around, to stay around. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I got to follow the rules, whatever I need to do, I'm here, man. I'm just ready to compete and try to hang a banner. That's what I want.
We love that. We love that. We need guys like that all the time, ready to help with the content league, ready to build a good squad. So we appreciate that. All right, man, appreciate you reaching out and getting on the bye week. We'll definitely have to get you on another show.
For sure.
Down the line, because I think you got a lot to say. You got good talent on the mic, so we'll have to get you back on the show. Hopefully next time we'll have these Jets balling in the Dynasty and get you in the playoffs. But man, Solomon, appreciate you jumping on the bye week.
Appreciate you, big bro.
All right, guys, that is the JETS Jets in the Dynasty. All right, one last team, and he requested to go last, so this is a guy that I've had the pleasure of calling games with. Does some behind-the-scenes stuff for us, stat-wise, getting stuff ready for Super Bowls. And on top of that, trying to build his team to be successful in the NFC. It's those Seahawks. What's going on, man?
Lego, what's up, player? Glad to be here, man. It's been a while since I was able to talk about these Seahawks, man.
Yeah.
Lots happened.
It's been a while since Jay and I have been on a show together. So let's talk Seahawks. What is going on in Seattle with these Seahawks?
Wow. Well, as usual, for the 4 years I've been here, came in year 2. Roller coaster ride, but right now we've really settled in here and trying to at least have some of these guys stick around. It's we're above 500 right now. It's been an up and down season. One of the weirdest seasons I've had as far as user, but my schedule is it's definitely one of the most entertaining this year. Play a lot of good, fun users.
All right, let's talk about this roster for a minute. Lynn Albury, he's had some flashes, and then he's had some games where he just did not perform well. Is this the quarterback of the future for the Jets?
Oh yeah, well he's here. We just recently signed him to another 4-year extension. He's our high stakes quarterback. Since I drafted him, and he even fell to me at number 9 because that draft class was loaded.
Yeah.
There was, if you remember, there was at least 9 or 10 first round quarterbacks, and somehow Albury falls to me. Well, now fast forward 4 years later, 3 years later, there's only 2, maybe 3 quarterbacks left from that class that are actually starters in this league. A lot of them have progressed out. I think it's just Clay Brooks, the Raiders quarterback, and mine. Now I know KP's trying to resurrect the kid from Miami, who I initially thought I was going to tag up with Bass years ago, but had to go with the Buckeye.
All right, Kareem Hunt comes to the Seahawks. Has that been a good relationship at running back? And is he going to continue? Or do we see maybe Israel Simmons kind of take over that role?
Yeah, getting Kareem Hunt was at first a struggle. He was really injury prone. So out of the 4 years I've had him so far, he's only played 2 full seasons without missing a game, which is actually been recent. He hasn't gotten hurt for a while. Since my playoff run was the last time he was hurt. Yeah. And I think he's probably got 1 more year with us to kind of roll around here in the dirt. But we like the young running backs that we have with Simmons. And I also have 2 other young guys who got some really good, nice looks last year, their rookie year. So I think I'm going to try my hardest to try to roll with these 3 and really try to build them.
Do you miss Bass?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I miss Bass so much. So he, I don't regret the trade, but just even having Bass for that first draft, because that was the first initial draft. But man, he caused such a stir, and him and Albury never really did mesh because Albury started out with only 87 throw power, and he really couldn't get the ball overthrow a guy like that. So, he could just come up right underneath it and snag it. Albury would always leave him short. The chemistry between those 2, it was someone had to go, and we flipped Bass, and we fluctuate. We'd like to see what would have happened if we would have kept him and just built some linebackers out of the draft and stuff like that.
Does it hurt worse knowing that you traded him to the Cowboys and then he got traded not too long after that?
Yeah, I even told him in a DM before we even made the trade, and I've said this to a couple other guys. When I trade someone I really like, I always say something like, all right, you can't, in his contract, he's got no trade clause. You got to keep him. And, HBO saying, no, I'm going to keep him. 1 year later, gone.
He's gone.
Gone. Yeah.
You said that you're not upset about the trade. If you could go back, would you still trade Bass for Van Der Esch?
Even just saying Van Der Esch, the guy is a complete game changer alone.
Yeah,
he is. And it's just one of those things. I am a defensive guy, so I always do like to have these big names on defense. And then I'm usually just like, all right, let's wing it on offense and try to bring in players and build them up. I lean towards the defensive side. I would do it again because I'm a Cowboys fan. I love Van Der Esch. He's going to be even better next year. And there's always fast guys. Now, I know there's not no Bass, but there is other wide receivers in this league that are just as good. And it's kind of, I was in the mindset of, all right, that was the first draft class. and I wasn't doing that well. So I was kind of finishing in the top 10, 15 anyway. So I was kind of in the mindset of like, I could probably find another bass. Well, 4 years later, I have yet to find another bass.
Yeah, there is no bass on this roster, but
No.
you do have an 86-year-old Keenan Allen. Does he continue to play for this Seahawks team? Because if Keenan Allen is gone, the rest of this wide receiver core couldn't outrun the linebacker crew that you have.
No, Keenan Allen is one of the biggest mistakes I've made in this franchise. That boy is getting paid. And it's just, I was in one of those, I want to spend some money. And me and the Giants joke about this in the background is because we were bidding. We were the only two bidding for him. And it was just going up and going up. And, we were kind of having a little fight there. And I end up winning Keenan Allen. That same draft, he goes out and gets the freak Ballman. And we kind of joke, if he would have got Keenan Allen, there's no Ballman. Who knows where he is. Changes a lot of franchises. Right now, a little bit about Keenan Allen. This is how much money this fool is going to be making for the rest of the dynasty. He makes $18 million this year. Next year, 2024, $22 million. $25, $27 million. Hoping I can cut him year 2024, and it'll be only like a cap hit of maybe like 11 million, 12 million. So, that was if I had to pinpoint one, Keenan Allen, that was horrible.
Does Keenan Allen teach you the importance of being a good GM?
I mean,
because that literally hurts you financially.
It did. It killed me. I actually had to take out a loan just to be able to bring in all these other guys. No, that free agency, that was the biggest free agent signing and the most money I've spent in free agency. And it was just one of those moments I got in the hype of, I'm going to get this guy, and then I really didn't overthink it. We needed a wide receiver to build. And if you look at him, he's got the numbers. I mean, 87 spectac. I mean, he looks good on paper, but he ain't worth the money.
I mean, he's still got 92 excel. He's got 95 catching, 91 catching traffic. I mean, he's a superior route runner.
Right.
Got all the attributes, but he's definitely not worth 22 to 25, 27 million dollars a year.
Never.
That's just a rookie mistake here in the dynasty that I think you learn from, and you got to take that in to the next Madden and Madden 20 and realize that. But that's enough free chicken here on the bye week. All right, let's talk about your tight end, because your tight end is probably my favorite player on this roster, not named Leighton. What does Allen Evans mean to this offense?
Just it sounds cliche, but he really is a security blanket. And he has, and with his height, sometimes he can go up and absolutely snag it. And he's physical too. When he'll catch the ball, he usually will pick up an extra couple yards just because of how big he is. He'll fall forward or even break one. He has been really awesome. I think that's one of my better picks to at least get Albury some help, because this guy is just running around most of the time, and usually the no line help. I've kind of had a below average line for this entire dynasty, really. I mean, they've held their own and we've won games, blah, 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 but they have been the weakest part of this offense for a long time. And this Evans is he's great. I'm glad he'll be here for high stakes as well, and we're going to keep building him. He went up in a dev. He's now star dev. With only 8,000 for each upgrade, he's developing nice.
If you look at your defense, what's the one spot when you look at this group and say, I got to get some help in this area right now?
Hands down, it's cornerback. I've been avoiding it for at least 3 years now. And then it would be linebacker next, because, obviously there's nobody there that's going to be there for high stakes, not one player. They're both iffy. And with the quarterback situation, this year's drafts, it's so hard. Some of these late guys, and even in the later rounds, and you've had to have dealt with this yourself with drafting, is a lot of the good cornerbacks are always so high in the draft. And then these other ones that fall, they're slow. They're not very productive. It's hard to find a really good young cornerback in the draft unless you're up in those, higher tier picks. So I've struggled with that.
Drafted a cornerback in the first round since I've been in the Dynasty, and that goes all the way back to Madden 15, 16.
It's slim pickings.
I just don't pick that high in the draft. But would you say that cornerback is a bigger concern than linebacker?
I
mean, besides Leighton
so
Vander Esch, who by the way, Leighton Vander Esch at 84 speed, 95 acceleration at left outside linebacker. I mean, that is
cooking.
You could put that guy at corner.
Yeah,
but
he's faster than some of them.
Besides him, you got Luke Kuechly, who's older than Keenan Allen.
Oh, he's still going.
You got Ryan Shazier, who's still old, almost at Luke Kuechly's age, and then you got Sherrard Murphy, who is slow, and you got Lewis Belser, the two young guys on this linebacker crew, but neither one of them above 80 speed. And you still got cornerbacks that are in the 90s, still running around. I mean, true Byron Jones is 30 years old, but he's still a good corner. Shaquille Griffin's still a good corner, but your linebacker crew is so slow. Do you feel like that needs to be the number one focus?
This offseason, I would love to draft a linebacker. And hopefully I can find some of these sleepers in the free agency, but it's hands down because Luke's going to have to go do a special teams role next year. Ryan Shazier is actually on a contract. He's looking for a deal. I doubt we even give it to him. So, he'll probably just fall into free agency. That's going to be a big hole this offseason that we're going to have to address, whether in our trade, draft, or possibly free agency. But, free agency is a stretch sometimes.
Absolutely. All right, let's look at this schedule. You're sitting at 5-4 on the bye week, and you come out the bye week and you have a very good Cardinals team coming. You got to go see the Cardinals. You got to go to the Browns. Then you're going to get the Redskins, the Falcons, then the Bengals, the Steelers, and the Rams. When you look at this back half of this schedule, do you see the Seahawks in the playoffs?
It's going to be close. This is if I can get through week 11 through week 14 on a positive record, because me and Brigatti have been battling since Blueprint days. In last year's Madden, I came in, and then this year's Madden, when I was the Raiders, we were in the same division. So we had 2 Maddens in a row, same divisions. We've always battled out, always been close. So having him get called up here is awesome, because our last game went to overtime. He won 25-22, total bloodbath. It was really fun. So we're looking to try to get him back on that. That's been fun. And obviously me and Rich, I haven't played him for a while. I think we've only played once, and it was year 2. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be tough. I'm going to say we're going to make a push for it. It's going to be close. If we can get through on beating either Cardinals, Browns, Falcons, they're the only ones left on my schedule that I see that are definitely capable of beating me.
All right, so you're one game out of that last wild card spot, and being outside looking in, do you ever look at other teams and look at their schedule and kind of start gauging of where your record needs to be at the end of the year?
All the time.
Okay, so what do the Seahawks have to finish this year to make the playoffs? 10-6, 11-5, or you think a 9-7 team makes the playoffs in the NFC?
9-7 is not going to make it in the NFC. You easily have to win 10 plus games to get in the playoffs. The NFC is so stacked between like some of these middle records. There's a lot of teams every year. People miss the playoffs maybe by 2 games, game and a half, and it really always does come down the wire. It's going to be tough. I'm going to try to squeeze into one of them spots. And our division is close. Who's to say I can't make a run and push for this division? I'm only 2 games out. I got the Cardinals. Yep. We're looking to try to get back in the playoffs.
All right. I asked Solomon and the Jets the same question. It's your first high stakes have you mentally prepared for what high stakes requires the last season before we see Madden 20?
Oh, I'm excited. I think it's one of the best features we do on this league is a complete bloodbath to see who's drafting where, and then the anticipation of even just being where you're at. It's fun, and I'm excited to see where we're gonna fall because I've been a tough competition for a lot of guys. I've played all you guys, and I've gave a lot of you guys games, if not beat. I think come high stakes, this team is going to be ready, and Albury's going to be a little bit built better. And yeah, I think we have a shot to make it to the playoffs that year.
So are the Seahawks a top 18 in the Dynasty?
Yeah, I think so. Come high stakes, bring it. A little long pause, but we got it.
I like it. I like it. All right, Jay, what you got for the Dynasty before you get out of here?
Man, as usual, love the Dynasty. Love everyone here, man. Let's keep grinding away at this game. I know it's been brutal, but the best part is here. We're here building these players, getting to the characters, and just grind through this fucking Madden because there's a lot of big things coming, man.
All right, guys, that's the Seahawks. Jay, always a pleasure when you and I get to do a show. We got to get back on the broadcast somewhere and call one of these playoff games coming up. I think we're gonna have to take care of that this year and get back in the booth together. So be on the lookout for that Dynasty. Jay and XPERT back in the booth at some point this year for a playoff game, or maybe we'll do a game of the week later on in the year. Y'all be on the lookout for that. But Jay, appreciate you jumping on, man.
Awesome, thank you, dude.
All right, guys, that is the bye week. You got the Raiders, the Jets, and the Seahawks to finish. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you hit that follow button, hit the like button, and then leave us a comment. Let us know how we're doing. On behalf of the Dynasty, it's your boy XPERT, and I'm out.